Hi, David Oglethorpe here with JUDolphins.com, here for one final women's soccer video this year. Coach, season ends in the semifinals of the ASUN tournament. Lost to Kennesaw State, 1-0 in overtime. Talk a little bit about that game. We haven't really had a chance to talk to you about that yet.
That was a exciting game. Disappointing the result at the end of the day, but it was an exciting game. It was two good teams, and at the end, Kennesaw got the best of us in overtime. You know, the first half, I thought we had the better of the chances. We had some better chances to score. Had a few chances in their end and didn't capitalize on those. The second half, we gave up a few corner kicks and withstood. Had to defend a little bit in part of the second half, but played a really good game. Played well, had chances to score, had chances to win the game, and that's what you hope for going into a game like that. At the end of the day, went to overtime. Like many of our others, we thought we had a good chance going into overtime because we have the fitness and the preparation for it. They ended up creating a good chance and scoring a great goal to go on to the finals. And we knew it was going to be a battle with them. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and it was everything we expected. Unfortunately, we just came out a little bit short at the end of the day.
Talking again about overtime, a lot of excitement this year in quite a few games. A lot of dog piles at the end of a couple of games, and including a 1-0 victory over Lipscomb, and then the victory over Mercer in penalties. Talk a little bit about the run at the end of the season. A lot of points taken there, and really coming together.
Definitely. I think, we've had some individual meetings. We've talked about it with some of the players individually, but even with the team as a whole, I thought we learned a lot in the early parts of the season. I know we had we had a lot of freshmen playing. A lot of them were getting adjusted to college life, college schedule, level of play, those kind of things, and the demands on them physically, mentally, and all kinds of things like that. So that was a tough run as we started, but then as we came together, once we started conference play, to go through the regular season conference and only drop one game, only team in the conference to lose only one game at that point, or through the whole season, and that's something, an accomplishment I think that I'm proud of for our team and for our girls' sake. We started playing well together, we started really defending well, and kind of turned the corner defensively towards the last part of the season. The conference part of it, we had the long run. Lex had 550-something minutes or so without a goal given up, which is Lex as well as our defenders and the whole team in front of her, just a team effort. And so I think that was a big part of it for us, was to be playing well going into the end of the year. That's what you always want to peak going into conference, and then be playing your best towards the end of the season, the conference tournament. And that's, I think that's where we were.
Okay. And again, looking back at the beginning of the season, of course, every coach has expectations, things that they want to have happen, places they want their teams to go. Looking back at that from the beginning of the season and now how the season ended here, well, how do you feel about your expectations going in and with the end of the season?
Of course, we're disappointed to be done. We'd love to be still practicing this week and be practicing for the NCAA tournament coming up tomorrow and Sunday. But, we didn't get through the conference tournament like we had hoped. We put ourselves in a position though to accomplish a lot of our team goals, and we came up short on some of those. We needed to get a win instead of a tie out of some of those conference games. Out of the 4 ties, had we picked up 2 more points and made one of those a win, we're regular season champs and we're hosting the conference tournament here. So that was, that's our goal every season, is to win the regular season and then win the conference tournament to go to the NCAA tournament. So a little disappointing not to have been able to get those extra 2 points that we needed along the way to win it and host it here. But as far as expectations go, I think the girls did what we asked them to do. They played hard, they worked hard, they learned the system that we were trying to play, they learned how we were trying to play, and they did everything we asked them to do. Unfortunately, we came up a little bit short. So some things to work on into the spring. We've got to be able to finish some of those games that end in ties, turn some of those into W's, and end up hopefully up a little bit higher up the table next year.
Going into the season again, we talked a little bit about the number of freshmen that you have on your team, over 10 freshmen. Talk a little bit about their progression throughout the year, just getting acclimated to college life, to college soccer play, and getting used to everything during the season.
So the freshmen did a great job this year. They came in, like Mitt alluded to them earlier a little bit, they had to learn, they had a lot to learn. When you come into college, it's a whole new ball game. It's different from your high school level. It's different from your club team. It's a different group of players. So they had to learn, not only the entire freshman, 11 in the freshman class had to learn each other, they also had to learn 13, 14 other players on the team, how they play, how they want to play, how we have to play as a team and as a group together. So there's a big learning curve for them. But I thought they did a fantastic job. I mean, from the very first game we played, we're starting 5 and 6 freshmen the majority of the year, if not every game. And so to have that many young players basically step up to the challenge and be prepared to step in and play against some of the best players in the conference, best players in the country, I think that speaks volumes about them as players, about them and their character, that the effort they're willing to put in and the determination that they have. So I think it was a learning process for them, but I think every one of them picked up very quickly. They all learned and did exactly what we were asking them to do. And so that gives us a lot of hope as we look forward, to have 6 freshmen that started returning next year as sophomores with a year of experience under their belt.
Now, at the end of a soccer season, us as the media and the fans, it all ends for us. But of course, as the team, everything keeps going on. What does an off-season schedule look like for your soccer team?
Well, they will, for the remainder of this semester, through the Christmas break, they'll be doing mostly just weights with our strength coach, with Ree. She'll take them through some workouts, and they'll start to do a little bit more weights now that it's off season. They can't do as heavy a weights and as much lifting during the season because of the muscle fatigue and that kind of stuff that goes with it. But as we go into the Christmas break and then come back in January, they'll be doing, for the first month or so, they'll be doing weights a couple times a week and then a fitness session with her as well. Kind of getting us stronger, bigger, faster, stronger. Not necessarily the bigger part, but faster and stronger with the quickness and agility stuff, and then stronger with the weights part of it. So that'll be the start of the off season, and then we'll have about an 8-week season in the spring. That's a time where we work on a lot of individual stuff. There is some team elements to it, but it's a lot of individual things. The games, we can play up to 5 dates in the spring, so those dates they're all exhibition games. There's no championship or anything like that in the spring. So with those spring games, we'll be playing. Everybody will probably play in almost every game. There'll be a lot of playing time for everybody. Players in new positions, people shifted and moved around, those kind of things. Trying some things out, because the spring's a time where, since there is no championship on the line, you can really try a lot of different things by moving players around. So that's we have an 8-week spring season that we're kind of preparing for, and that prepares us basically getting in for preparation for the next fall.
Speaking of next fall, never too early to look ahead to next fall. What are your expectations going into next fall? Where do you see your team ending up?
Well, hopefully on top. That's our expectation, and that's our goal. That's one of our goals as a team, every season. And so I think for the team this year, we turned a lot of corners, to only giving up as few goals as we did in conference, and have had a defense that had as many shutouts as we did in conference, but also to compete with every single team. The only team that we lost to was Mercer, and we redeemed that loss by knocking them out of the conference tournament here. So, we of course came up a little short against Kennesaw, but having beat them in the regular season, I think that gives us a little bit of confidence going into next year that we can play with anybody in the league. There's very good teams in the league. Kennesaw is going to be good again. Belmont, Stetson, Mercer, all those teams, Florida Gulf Coast. Our conference had all those teams were within 1 or 2 points of each other up until like the very last weekend. So we know it's going to be very competitive with everybody in the conference, and even UNF, who is our crosstown rival. That's a 1-goal game, that can always go either way. But we know it's going to be competitive, and so for us, our goals are to get even better, organized defensively, more creative in the attack, so that we can, like I said, turn some of those ties around and build off this year's success. To have only lost 1 conference game out of 10 is a pretty good feat for us. Now we want to kind of turn that around, build off that momentum, take some of the learning that we did as freshmen, take some of the experience that we got by playing, 7, 8, whatever it was, overtime games in one season. Take that experience and build off it as we go into next year. We'll welcome in a class of about 7 or 8 again next year, so we'll have a quarter of the team will be new again, but it'll be easier now because we'll have so many experienced players coming back, so many experienced starters coming back as well. So as we look forward to next year, we are, we're preparing for the conference tournament and the regular season conference to put ourselves in a position to compete and have a chance to win that.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you very much.
We thank you so much for following us all year here at JU Dolphins. I'm David Oglethorpe, here with head coach Brian Copham. Thanks so much.